Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. I am the man that they call the Midnight Rider. Soon I'll be joined by the gentleman Jack. The big guy KG is on assignment. The boss man is on assignment. So you're going to get the dynamic duo doing the things that we do every day, every time we bless this podcast world. So just to give you a quick rundown of the show, of course, we lost someone, so we got to cover that. We got to cover Game 7 from last night, which was a tremendous ball game. And I think that gives Jack his World Series, if memory serves me correct. Actually, the first part of the show might be the Jack Carter Love Fest, it looks like, because the next segment, we go into the JC Top 10. And after that, we hit the list where we break down we have three people, myself, Jack, and Coach Robeson. And we break down who we think the top five quarterbacks are in college football right now. And it changes weekly. So it could be, I think Coach Robeson does his based on the week. Jack and I kind of do it over the year, through the course of the season, and we figure out who we like and we move people around. And then after that, hold on one second, Jack, I got you. We want to talk college coaching carousel. Then we're going to take a quick break. Preview one of our shows in the commercial, and then we're going to do the nickel, and then we'll give you a preview for the show that's coming up tomorrow, and then Jack will tell us who the guest is, and I'll assist him with some of the details on this guest. With that being said, gentleman Jack, how you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. Coach Robeson will be joining us live next week to really give us the ins and the outs of how he selects his top five. He's already explained it to me in text, but I can't wait till he gets on the show live next week. And then we'll probably pull him up again somewhere in the middle of the holidays, see where we are in our rankings there. And then I'm sure we could definitely get Coach back for, say, Heisman time or something like that. He's a very knowledgeable football guy. So I listen and respect what his opinions are to an extent. Coach.
No, you listen till you don't agree, and then when you don't agree, you stick with what you think. You're Jack, man. That's what you do, baby.
That's called to an extent. I'm being nice. You call me the gentleman, right?
But that's what we do around here. We engage in arguments and conversations to listen to the other person, because sometimes you see something that the other person doesn't see. With that being said, you ready to kick this thing off? We got to start like we always do. Sad news. There's more information coming out, but rest in peace to Doug Martin, aka Muscle Hamster. Dude played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Played a season or two in Oakland. Had a 6-year career. Go ahead, Jack. I'm gonna let you just go ahead and start, because I got some stuff I want to say afterwards.
Yeah, no, he played Oakland for a minute. Got drafted by Tampa Bay, 2012 first-round pick, 31st pick overall. This gentleman had a hell of a rookie season. 1,450 yards, 12 touchdowns overall. That's pretty impressive for any rookie. But most of his career was limited due to injuries. And he had substance abuse problems later on. He got suspension. So he only played 84 games. But I tell you, he was a career 4-yard per carry running back. And I'll take a 4-yard per carry guy in my backfield all day, every day. So he had a really cool middle name, Midnight Rider. I like seeing tidbits and funny names and stuff like that. Well, everybody knows him as Doug Martin. His middle name is Matthew Barron. Matthew Barron, all one word. I've never heard that name before. So I thought that was pretty cool. Doug Matthew Barron Martin. Rest easy, my friend. Gone way too soon. Way too soon. But your talents we seen your talents when you were in the league, especially in 2012-13 season. Yes, sir.
What was his numbers this second year? Do you have that pulled up still?
No, I do not have that pulled
Right,
up
that's
still, but if
it's
you want to
cool.
talk a little bit, I'll have it for you.
Nah, because I just remember at some point he was on one of my fantasy teams. I think it was his rookie year, and then after that, I think I had to move off of him. But I always kept running backs. I always drafted whatever the new running back was that came in the league. More than likely, I was drafting one of those guys for my fantasy team. In terms of him,
Well,
if I remember
what do
correctly,
you
he
want to
came out of
know?
Boise State. Go ahead, say it
Yes, he
again.
did. He came out of Boise State, went to St. Mary's High School. What did you want to know about his stats, his career stats? I have those now.
I just want to know what the second season was. Because I thought he had two really good years, and then he struggled with injuries after that.
Now he had that good rookie year, then he had two down years, and then he had another good year with another
Okay.
1,400. So his
Okay.
first 4 years, he had two 1,400 yard years, and those were the only 1,000-yard years he had.
Yeah, I think he ended his career with Oakland. I think he had like 800 yards, something like that.
7 and some change, correct.
Okay. All right, cool. But no, the muscle hamster was just one of those guys that um he came out of nowhere. When you start noticing him, I think he was actually on the cover. I think that might have been him on the cover of one of the college football games, but don't get me the line on that. Um, that's what my memory says, but it's not what my thoughts say. So I don't want to mess that up for anybody. And have you thinking that he was actually on there. I'm not reporting that. I'm just guessing that and thinking that was a feeling. Um, with that being said, before we go into the next actual topic, got a question for you because I saw something leading up to the
Oh,
game.
I like
Um,
questions.
did you get a chance to see any of the coverage by NBC for the opening night for the on their show called NBA Showtime?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Okay, you might want to check that out because NBC is leaning hard, and KG's gonna love this. Because when they start ball games, they play the old school intro. So the
Yeah.
intro we remember from back in the day, they open their games with that intro. They have a show called Showtime. Um, Vince Carter, was it Vince Carter, T Mac,
Is
and
that Reggie
Mello
Miller in there?
are the three
Oh,
like
really?
co-hosts. And I can't think of the young lady's name that is the host of the. I think it's Maria Taylor is the host of the show. But those
I
three guys, they did a good job opening up the show and previewing the game. I was impressed because they actually had a natural chemistry. Well, of course, Kate, you know, T Mac and Vince will have chemistry because they're cousins. But I like the way that Mello folded into the whole thing and the way Taylor moved them through the sequences. Something you might want to check out, man. NBC, I think they got the Tuesday night game. It's called the opening show. It's called NBA Showtime. The game tonight is the OKC Houston Rockets game that should be starting or should have started by now on Channel 4. So that's something you
8
might
o'clock
want to,
start.
yeah,
I
you
think the
probably
8
want to keep
o'clock
your
start.
eyes on that. And then tonight you got the what's the second game? The
Lakers.
Lakers and the Warriors. So
Yeah.
that's all. I
10
just wanted
o'clock
to get
tip.
that out real quick because I saw it. I just want to see if you touched it. Let's go
Well,
to something.
look at this. Look at this. Let me comment on what you just informed me of. I see Mello getting into that. I did. I thought Mello would definitely get into commentating. But damn, T Mac. Every time I
Mhm.
think of T Mac, I think of, back in the day, what they call him, Sleepy. He always had
Yeah.
that chill look like he was stoned all the time. I just didn't see Tracy McGrady going into that. Good for him. Got to do something, pay the bills.
Well, you
So I look
also got to
forward to checking
remember
out.
these guys. The last couple of years, guys like him and Jamal Crawford, they were really big in doing a lot of the podcast shows. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's where they got their chops. Kind of got themselves comfortable in front of the camera. I even think T Mac was hosting the show or did like maybe a 4 to 6 I'm sorry, 6 to 8 episodes of his own podcast. So that's another thing you can kind of think about. Before we go further, um let's acknowledge the comment of my man J Dub. Good evening, fellas and friends. Good evening, sir. Thank you for always being around and always commenting, sir. We
Yeah, what's
definitely
up,
appreciate
Jackie?
that. And
Mm-hmm.
with that being said,
Oh yeah,
next up,
hold up.
go ahead.
Let me holler at Jack real quick.
Go ahead,
I
do your
know I
thing.
can send you a text after the game, Jack, but I want to give Aunt Jeannie her love right now. I was just notified last night that Ricky and Danny Bishop's mom, Aunt Jeannie, passed away. And the reason I call her Aunt Jeannie, because my boy Roger Hall, that's his aunt and his cousin. So I always called her Aunt Jeannie as well. Her smile was infectious. Every time we seen her, she was a single mom for a while, and she came to the babysitter in Riverdale to pick the boys up. So yeah, Jack, uh, Ricky Bishop and Danny Bishop's mom passed away. Just to let you know, J Dub.
All right. Let's go ahead and hit these MLB playoffs. Last night, well, we already know the Dodgers and they swept the Brewers in dominant
Mm-hmm.
fashion. Last night, your prediction came true, and the Toronto Blue Jays moved on to advance to the World Series. Just talk to me because you were very confident about this the whole time, and I
And they
I,
had me
I was looking
scared.
good. I was looking good for about 7 1/3, and then George Springer happened. But go ahead, Jack, take it away, bro.
Yeah, I think by the time I got off the show last night, everybody want to know we did our NBA preview show. You can find that at Sideline Junkies Podcast Network Facebook page, Slam an NBA show. But by the time I got off of that Midnight Rider and finished my stuff I do post show, it was the sixth inning. And I'm like, oh damn, down 3-1. Whoa. And dude was dealing. Then they brought in a new pitcher. And my boy Springer got up there with an 0-2 pitch and said, get that shit out of here. 3-run ding ding. Put them up. And they never had a chance to catch up, bro.
Yeah.
Toronto, man, they were excited last night. I was watching their post game celebration for a while. They were just excited. But they're going to have their hands full with these Dodgers now. I think both teams got good pitching. Both teams got good hitting. First said 5 games. Let's now that the matchup is set, I'm gonna say Dodgers in 6. The series starts Friday and Saturday. So we got back-to-back games to start the series off in Toronto, guys. Blake Snell's going to be starting Friday night, and that boy, what is his name? Trey Yesavage.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be pitching for Toronto. So Blake Snell, man, he's gonna be hard. Then you're gonna have Otani coming. Then you're gonna and the Dodgers got pitchers for days. I don't even think the Dodgers are gonna throw a bullpen player pitcher. My bullpen will be 4 or 5 starter. 4 or 5 starter. You'd be bullpen 1 through 3 starts the series. All of them.
Well,
And I don't
this
see the
is
Dodgers.
you.
Well, I don't
You
see the
just
Dodgers getting
no,
beat.
no. You just gave out the blueprint. You said exactly what I was going to say. But I'll add a couple nuggets to it. Um, I think both teams have formidable lineups. I think both teams have good starting pitching. I think Toronto has good starting pitching. I think the Dodgers have dominant starting pitching. And the whole goal
Mm-hmm.
for the Blue Jays is they got to get the Dodgers pitchers out in by 6. They can't let these guys go 7 8 innings. They gotta put the pressure on them and get those pitches out early. Whether that's taking a lot of pitches, whether that's I don't know what it is, but you gotta make these pitchers pitch in this series. And then you can't let Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman find life. Because if they find life, then it's a 5-game series. Um, and Toronto's going to Cancun quicker than you think. But
Oh man.
that's kind of what I got on it. You got anything else?
No, excited for Friday to get it started. I mean, that's a good day to start. No Thursday night football. You just got Friday, little bit of college ball, and then World Series time. And then I didn't see a start time for the Saturday game, but I reckon
Everything's
it's
8
going to
o'clock.
be in the evening. Yeah,
Everything's 8
that's what I
o'clock.
reckon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's 8 p.m. And then you must have missed Maddie because Maddie was a little upset that we got to wait until Friday. But I mean, I think the one thing we forget about when these series start
Rest.
and everything is a lot of times you got to put these building plans for these buildings and these stadiums in far in advance. So it's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
something that's just, can change on a whim or change because a series ended sooner or anything like that. So you got to be real careful with that. And I think also, if I remember correctly, Thursday night football is in LA. So that's another reason why. I mean, even though I know the series starts in Toronto, but having LA involved, maybe that helps them out. But I don't think that it was that late that they were thinking about this. I think this was just the natural part of the schedule. Give the guys a couple of days to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Get into the city, get used to whatever the time zone or whatever it is you gotta get used to, and start this thing on Friday and start it right. Because now you get Friday night to yourself. I mean, you fighting what, like some random college football game on Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got college football on Saturday night, but you're baseball and you're the World Series. You should carry some of the audience in that. So that's how I see it in that regard. Um Anything to close us out? Are you good to go?
Yeah, no,
Final
good to
thought.
go. Got the starters lined up and ready to go. Come on Friday, get your rest, and let's play some ball. I'm telling you, I want to see. I want to see. I mean, it's going to be great pitching, but I think the hitting is good enough that you're going to see some 4 and 5 run, situations for teams. I don't think it's going to be that 2-1 shit. I don't. Somebody
All
going to
right.
get it.
All right. Well, that being said, one of the staples of Tuesday night, we actually hit you with the two staples of Tuesday night in back-to-back segments. That segment, the first one we're gonna do is called the JC College Football Top 10. That's where our guy Jack Carter breaks down his top 10. It's not APs, it's not the coaches. This is the JC top 10. JC, take it away.
Wow, man. There was a lot of tumbling going on in this top 10 this past week. Some great football games were matched up Saturday. I'll tell you, I can't wait to get into it. So we got number one staying at number one. Them Buckeyes gonna stay up top 7-0. They beat a lowly Wisconsin team. Wisconsin is really on a down year. The talent is just not there. Um, who knows, man? The way NIL works, they can be on top of the Big Ten next year. And, it's different to see Wisconsin getting ass whoopings like that. Ohio State beat them 34-0. Ohio State has a bye this coming Saturday, so they will get rested up and prepare for Week 10. In the number 2 spot, Indiana Hoosiers 7-0 moved up to number 2 in my poll. They beat Michigan State the way they should have. Didn't do nothing more. Didn't do nothing less. 38-13. Next, they got a home game versus UCLA at noon on Fox. And UCLA's been known to raise some noise. They banged out Penn State early in the season, and like I say, they fired their coach too. So they're playing with an intern coach there at UCLA, I believe. So it might be balls to the wall for them. They ain't got nothing to lose. So that's the type of team you don't. It's tough to play this time of the year. The teams that have got nothing to lose, and UCLA is one of those teams. Number 3, the team I've been harping on ever since they jumped into this top 10, Texas A&M, man, 7-0. They beat Arkansas, a scrappy Arkansas team. I've seen Arkansas give many SEC teams a tough fight. Arkansas is another team that has lost their head coach. That was an intern head coach. Them team was fired up for that game to play for that intern coach against Texas A&M, but Texas A&M was able to hold on for the 3-point victory, and I got them at the number 3 spot. Up next is a humongous game for Texas A&M. This right here will prove if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I think Texas A&M is one of the top 2 teams in the SEC, if not the top. They face off at LSU Saturday, 7:30, and that'll be on ABC. Number 4 spot. How about them Bulldogs? Georgia Bulldogs hold that 4 spot at 6-1. They had one hell of a game with Ole Miss last Saturday. They defeated Ole Miss 43-35 on some great play by Gunnar Stockton. Georgia in the beginning, I thought they might have had problems, but they done turned it around and turned it around quick. They back on pace, and I feel that Kirby's got that shit right. Up next, Georgia has a bye, so they're gonna lay low for a week and get ready for week 10. Then number 5 spot, Alabama, 6-1. They beat Tennessee 37-20 in a game they dominated. I felt they had that game in control, and that right there moved them up to the number 5 spot, beating a tough ass team like Tennessee. Up next, Alabama's got to go to South Carolina. Them Gamecocks, they chippy. They chippy. Don't take them lightly. Come in there, Alabama, take care of business and do your thing. That game will be played at 3:30, and you'll see it on ABC. Number 6 spot, the Oregon Ducks are back. The Ducks at 6-1. They beat Rutgers 51-10 as they should have. Hanging a 50 piece on Rutgers, yes, that's what they had to do. If they would have beat Rutgers 28-10 or 35-10, I wouldn't have thought it was as good a ball game. They did what they do. And up next, they got a home game versus Wisconsin Saturday, 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. And like I said, that Wisconsin team's not got much. They don't really got the gloves on, if you know what I'm saying. The number 7 spot, Ole Miss. Ole Miss was up. I think I had Ole Miss at the 4 spot prior to this, but losing a tough-ass game to a team like Georgia, 35-43. To lose to Georgia by 8, hey, I ain't mad at you. I thought you held your own, and that's why I kept you in this top 10. You only dropped 3 spots. Up next, you got to go to Oklahoma and handle the Sooners at noon. That game will be on ESPN. Now, down here at 8, 9, 10, JC done some crossovers, okay? In the number 8 spot. I think this here is going to be our first ACC team to make the top 10 this year. Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. 7-0 right now. They beat Duke 27-18. Everybody say, oh, wow, yeah, they beat Duke. Duke's got a nice offense. They could have done an upset, but Tech defense was too much for them. Up next for Tech, they got a home game against Syracuse this Saturday. That's noon on ESPN. But what's gonna determine if Georgia Tech is what they say they are or is what they look like they are is going to be their last game of the season when they go play Georgia. Georgia Tech, Georgia, always the last game of the season for them two teams. We'll really see what Georgia Tech's made of. Other than that, they got a pretty soft ACC schedule until then. In the number 9 spot, I got the Commodores. Vanderbilt Commodores, 6-1. What a hell of a game plan they put together against LSU Tigers. They defeated LSU 31-24. It was a great quarterback matchup altogether. And that was another game, where it's tough to have a loser. I love great games like this, one-score games. Up next for Vandy, they got a home game against Mizzou, 3:30 Saturday on ESPN. My 10 spot, I'm pretty sure Midnight Rider knows who I got in the 10 spot.
Miami?
No. I got the undefeated BYU Cougars at the number 10 spot. They beat Utah 24-21 in a beautiful game. Up next for them, though, will be a game that will see if they stay in the top 10. They got to play them Iowa State Cyclones. They got a nice little quarterback over there. Iowa State is no pushover. They bounced in and out of the top 25 this year. So let's see if BYU can go up against a strong SEC squad. Isn't that where Iowa State is, Midnight Rider, SEC?
Nah, I think Iowa State is the Big 12. Because BYU and Iowa State can actually potentially play for the conference championship in the Big 12.
For the ship. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
Well, that game scheduled to play Iowa State this Saturday, 3:30 on Fox. If you don't know much about BYU, they will be on national TV this weekend on Fox. Check them out, man. Middle of the day, 3:30. And we got one more undefeated team still in the D1. The midshipmen of Navy are currently 6-0. The midshipmen of Navy currently average 7.6 yards per play. That's like a first down every 2 plays, bro.
Mhm.
But at 6-0, Navy is only ranked number 30 in the AP. So just strength of schedule probably got a lot to do with it. But Navy got some games coming up. They got the Irish coming up, and I think they got one more strong game on their schedule. So let's see how Navy stacks up against a Notre Dame or another top D1 school on their schedule. I'm curious to see how Navy handles that. Because honestly, if you look at it as far as the quarterback position, Midnight Rider, the quarterback at Navy, his name is slipping my mind. The quarterback at Navy, he is so prolific in his offense, whether it's running or throwing or read option, or he is responsible for so many yards, whether it be passing or rushing. And he is the heartbeat of this Navy team. So I tell you, it's like Navy will do this quite often, and then they'll lose once we get into week 11, 12 or so. But I'd like to see Navy hold on and maybe handle a Notre Dame or whoever else is on their schedule. I like it. What do you think about this top 10 this week, bro?
Give me the rundown one more time. Just go 1 to 10 real quick.
Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Georgia 4, Alabama 5, Oregon 6, Ole Miss 7, Georgia Tech 8, Vanderbilt 9, BYU 10.
All right,
There's a couple teams peaking. Miami's peaking in.
Keep going.
No, there's a couple teams peaking in, and it's just too tight up at the top, and the undefeated teams that have played somebody got to get theirs. So that's what
I think we're
lost. Please.
I think we're in the world of parity now in terms of college football, and I think we're going to struggle. I think if there's a team that goes undefeated, they're going to be almost like the Miami Dolphins, like of 72. Like they should have a celebration, because I think it's going to be tough sledding for a lot of these teams to get to an undefeated season. Like thinking about Texas A&M, they got to end the season with Texas. They're probably going to have to play in the SEC championship game if they keep this up, and then that means you're playing Alabama or Georgia probably. That's a tough road to hoe. You have Alabama 5 and Georgia 4. The AP has it the reverse. AP has Alabama 4, Georgia 5. They got Georgia Tech at 7, and then they have Ole Miss at 8, Miami 9, and Vanderbilt. But I like your list because last week you mostly had the undefeateds in a row, but this week you mixed in partially because some of the undefeateds that you had losses. Ole Miss and Miami, 2 of them. Texas Tech being the 3rd. So it changed week to week. I like the fact that after it changed, you still have a certain way to it. I can't remember who won between Georgia and Alabama. I think it was Alabama. So I can see where those two come into play. But I think they're 2 of the top teams in the country, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're definitely the top 1-loss teams in the country, definitely, 100%. And like you said, some of these undefeated teams, like say Texas A&M with this LSU matchup coming up, and BYU with the Iowa State matchup, It's going to be tough to be undefeated. I was really surprised that we had 6, 7 undefeated teams after week 9. So
Mm-hmm.
it's I knew it was going to be a real year. I thought there'd be more 2 and 3 loss teams by this point, but we still got a couple weeks, and I really
Exactly.
think we're going to see some 2, possibly 3 loss teams in this top 10.
Well, I think if you watch the way the season is played out, you see why, like in the new or in the future, college football playoff meetings, that teams in the SEC and the Big Ten, they want to have guaranteed spaces. Like they want to have a guarantee of 2 or 3 teams getting in, and I think it's because they know that as this goes on and plays out, a lot of their teams going to have the teams with 2 and 3 losses. They're not going to have the 1 loss or the undefeated teams, and that could be a problem for them.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a
Yeah,
struggle, and that could make it tough on them.
Definitely. No, we got a lot of tough teams that aren't even in this top 10. I mean, Tennessee, they're a bunch of dogs. It's crazy to see a team like Tennessee. Not what do they got now? 2 losses?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's we're about halfway there, it seems. I mean, what, week 8, 16, a little bit. It's crazy because there's a big gap between the end of the season and when they start playing. But maybe now with more teams, there ain't going to be as big a gap, huh?
Well, we still had the gap because the way the season plays out. You got to
Gap
have
around Christmas.
that Thanksgiving weekend where you get your rivalry games in, and then I think it's either the first or the second week you get the Army Navy game.
Right.
Yeah, Army Navy is the second week. The first week is the conference championship games in December, and then normally the week of Thanksgiving is all the rivalry, the Alabama versus Auburn, the Clemson versus South Carolinas, and all that stuff.
Navy, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Georgia. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, all that stuff happens. All right, man. Anything else you want to close out with the top 10, or time to
No, I like it.
This one. All right.
That's it.
All right. Well, the next thing is the popular thing, the list. And on the list, myself and Jack Carr, what we do is we give you our top 5 quarterbacks, the way we see them in college football. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and start it off with I'll do it by solo this time. Number 5.
All right, I'm pulling up Coach Robeson's here first. And as I said, Coach Robeson will be joining us next week live in studio. So, number 5, Coach Robeson pulls up Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. I like that choice. I like Pavia. I don't have him quite in my top 5 this week, Coach. At number 5, I have Carson Beck, Miami. He took a little drop on my list, but I still got him there. Carson Beck, number 5 for me, Midnight Rider.
Oh, well, number 5 for me. I normally say this guy's name at 2, but I think he has to take a little bit of a tumble, and that's Dante Moore from Oregon. He's holding on at the number 5 spot. With that being said, it's only right that we go number 4. Number 4.
Coach Robeson has Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Really nice pick, Coach. I like Mendoza. I actually like him a little higher than this, but good pick. Mendoza is really having a solid year for the 7-0 Indiana Hoosiers. At number 4, the gentleman Jack has Joey Aguilar, Tennessee quarterback. He's been banged around, but I like his perseverance. I like his durability. He's just a banger, and he's what QB1 is. I like Joey Aguilar, Tennessee at number 4, Midnight Rider.
Number 4, you know the name, you know the school. his school is in the top 10 of JC's top 10. It's the man with all the moxie, all the swag. It's Diego Pavia at number 4 for me. He really impressed me this week. Just the way he's one of those guys that his team will follow him into a burning building and try to save all the kids out of the school or whatever it is they're burning into. They will follow him no matter where they're going. He could give them butter knives and tell them we're going to war, and they stand across the field from a bunch of people with machine guns, and that group will follow him into battle. That's what I love about him. He keeps hopping in and out, but of the top 10, my top 5. But this week he earned a spot for show. False show.
No doubt. No doubt.
Next number 3.
Okay, at the number 3 spot on our quarterback list, Coach Robeson, he's got a dog at number 3, and I've been watching, and he is climbing. Coach Robeson has Gunnar Stockton, the Georgia Bulldogs, at the number 3 spot. I like Gunnar. I just don't have him up there yet. I need to see more. And at the number 3 spot for JC, I have Ohio State quarterback Julian Saying. He's really saying something to me. And I brought him up from honorable mention to number 3 spot. The boy plays QB, man. That's if you haven't seen him play, I'm telling you, you got to get out and see some of these QBs because they could possibly help your team next year in the NFL. These are some solid quarterbacks, and I like Julian Saying at number 3.
At number 3, my guy, I think he's the quarterback of the number 3 team in the country. It's Mr. Marcel Reed. He's been solid all year long. He's another guy that he's not a traditional stand in the pocket quarterback. He just gets it done. And with this team being in the spot they're in right now at 3, I think it's the highest that Texas A&M has been in a long time. So kudos just for that. Because I always thought of them as not like a Penn State, a team that they can have all the talent, but they don't win the big game or the important one. Well, let's see what Texas A&M does the rest of the way this year, because they're going to be in some important spots. They're going to have a chance to become a team of destiny to some extent. And with that being said, let's go ahead and roll in to the number 2. Number 2.
At the number 2 spot, Coach Robeson has a guy that he's been high on all season. He's got Julian Saying from Ohio State as well. And I think Coach is really high on Julian. He's got, what's he got? 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You can't protect the ball no better than that, man. So Julian Saying, number 2 for Coach Robeson. And the number 2 spot for myself, he stays there from last week. He was number 2 last week. Surprised some of you that I had him up there, but I got Ty Simpson from Alabama as my number 2 quarterback on the list. And I wouldn't be surprised if he stays in that top 3 for me for the rest of the year, but you never know. Midnight Rider, who you got it to?
I mean, I think we were exchanging lists when it came to number 2. I've seen my guy. He's done enough for me to go ahead and put him in my 5. But it's Ty Simpson. I talked about him early in the year, week 1. I thought he had a lot of dog in him after that Florida State game. I hesitated to put him in my top 10. I mean, top 5. He's probably always in my top 10. But now, yeah, I think I gotta put some respect on his name, man. I gotta show him love, and I think he's the second best guy in the building right now.
Okay.
I see a comment. Let's finish this out real quick. Let's hit number 1, and then I'll hit the comment. Number 1.
Let me tell you, the number one choice for Coach Robeson is Ty Simpson, Alabama. So that is, showing you Mr. Simpson, he's holding strong. And he's the number 1 QB on the top 5 list for Coach Drew Robeson. My number 1 on the list for top 5 quarterbacks is that quarterback out of Indiana, Fernando Mendoza. He's just shown me enough week in and week out to be the number one quarterback in the country right now. And I'm going to stick with Fernando Mendoza, number one quarterback right now on my list.
All right, and my number one, I'm not trying to be funny here, but mine is also Mendoza from Indiana. He's really impressed me all season long. We're at a point, and this is a crazy stat. I think this is the first time that Vanderbilt's been in ranked as high as they have since like 1947 or something crazy like that. And then Indiana has never been ranked that high. It might be vice versa, but I remember those two stats about those two teams. I might have switched them up, but still, that's crazy that we're in a world now that we're talking about Texas A&M, we're talking about Indiana, and we're talking about Vanderbilt in the top 10 of college football. I mean, we still got the regulars. We got, Georgia and Alabama, but I mean, we missing some teams in that top group because they lost to Indiana. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. It's a crazy thing. It's crazy how that's played out and how it's like kind of come to fruition. But that's the crazy part of this whole thing. Let's see. Anything else, Jack? You got this on. Don't you want to do his honorable mentions?
Yes, sir. Please. I'm just going to do 3 myself, but I think I'm going to do 4 of Coach Robeson's because a couple of these names catch me, man. I'm like, whoa. His first honorable mention is going to be Miller Moss over in Louisville.
Okay.
He's putting up
some, putting
up some nice and yes. I think he's a dual threat because he doesn't have big passing numbers, but they are 5-1 over there. And what's he got? 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, only 1,000 yards passing. But at the number 2 honorable mention for Coach Robeson is Haynes King, who a lot of us have been talking about recently from Georgia Tech. And then he's got Chandler Morris from Virginia. I seen him play this weekend, man. That boy chucks the ball. What's he doing?
He's the transfer too.
Oh, everybody's a goddamn transfer. But he's got over 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns. Chandler Morris at Virginia. And then I'm going to throw out his number 4, Brendan Sorsby, Cincinnati quarterback. I heard about him in the NCAA preview show I watched. I can't remember if it was Fox Sport 1 or one of these shows, but I heard about this kid at Cincinnati, and they say he throws the ball. He's got 17 touchdowns, only 1 interception. How many yards he got? Let me see. 1,700 passing yards. He's right there with the top guys on our list, Midnight Rider, as far as numbers go for this cat from Cincinnati. So I'm going to look into him a little bit more. I advise you to maybe check that kid out a little bit. He's something that a lot of people don't know about because he's playing over there for Cincinnati. My honorable mentions, I just got 3 of them. I'm basically working with about 8 to 10 quarterbacks. That's all I'm really working with unless somebody blows my mind. I had Diego Pavia Vanderbilt really close to that number 5 spot. Haynes King, Georgia Tech. I just need to see a little more. And then Marcel Reed from Texas A&M is my number 3. If you notice, my Baylor quarterback is gone.
He gone?
Yeah, right now he gone.
Yeah,
I think he'll be a possible good draft pick in next season's draft. I think he'll be a quarterback, good quarterback to draft. Now, that other quarterback over at BYU, that boy's a running back, man. He ain't no quarterback. I mean, shit, he wears number 46, and he runs people. I mean, he looks for people to hit. He don't run away. He don't slide. I'm serious to God. Like I said last week, I think that boy at BYU, what is it, Bachmeyer?
Yes, it is.
It's Bachman. He's going to be a running back. He's going to be a Christian McCaffrey in the NFL because he was a running back before this year. Uh, I don't expect to see him as a quarterback. What do you got as far as guys that are knocking on the door, Midnight Rider?
Well, I had two guys that I kicked out of my list that I gotta keep at least
Ooh,
up top. That's number one is Joey Aguilar, Tennessee.
yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think Tennessee just struggled with Alabama, and they just couldn't get going. Uh, the number two guy I have on my list is got him in the South Bend last week and gave his team a chance. Jaden Mava, um, the USC quarterback. I like him. I like his skill set. I want to watch him more. So I didn't get a chance to really sit down and kind of go through what he was doing as a quarterback. So hopefully I can catch him in these next couple of weeks and get a good look at him, to put a good evaluation on him. And then the third guy, guy that had his team in the ball game till the end. I know his name is Trinidad Chambliss, but I like to call him Chambly. Put a little New Orleans on it. But I mean, the kid played ball, man. They used some options. Oh, and the guy I was thinking about is the kid Austin Simmons. That's the 17-year-old quarterback. That's at
From?
Ole Miss right now. He was the starter, got hurt, and then
Oh, yeah.
Shane,
Don't they
yeah,
do tandem quarterback over there?
yeah. So sometimes, like towards the goal line, they had a couple situations where they had both quarterbacks in the ball game,
Right.
almost like a wildcat type of deal, a reverse type of
Mm-hmm.
situation. So they were definitely getting everybody involved in that, in
Yeah,
terms of those two guys.
definitely.
All right, so we've covered that. We covered that. Let's see
Breaking?
what we got next. Oh no, we don't have the break
Mm,
yet. The break is next.
okay.
But
Let me
first,
know.
before we break, let's finish up our college football talk. Just the college football carousel right now. Um, we got a bunch of coaches that are without jobs, and I don't remember it being a time where we did it this early. Like I've seen coaches lose their job, but a lot of coaches get fired at the end of the season. It's a lot of coaches getting fired mid-season, and there's only
Big
one
time
thing:
schools.
it's big time schools. A, B, it's money.
Buyout.
I mean,
Ooh,
teams are teams are paying some buyouts. Um, I'd love to be James Franklin, just having 70 million just sitting out there. Um,
yes, sir.
I know Billy Napier's have one. So right now,
Mhm.
Billy Napier for Florida got fired on the 19th.
Yep.
James Franklin fired on the 12th. Jay
Mm-hmm.
Norville from Colorado State. That's the guy that made the slick comment to Dion. He got fired on the 19th.
Yes.
Deshaun Foster got fired on September 14th. I don't
Is
know
that the
why.
running back?
He
Is that
used to
the
be a
running
running
back
back.
from Houston? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nah,
He
Foster
got
was a running
fired
back
quick.
at UCLA. Yeah, they. I don't even know about that one. I don't think he should have been hired. To be honest with you, Trent Bray at
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State fired. Trent Dilfer,
Yes.
Mike Gundy,
Yes.
and Sam Pittman. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think the best job on the table right now is Florida, followed by Penn State. But the problem is, I don't know who the next guys are to take those jobs. You got any thoughts on this, Jack?
Well, I done forgot the man's name, but that coach over there at Nebraska is not doing a bad job with that program right now. From what he walked into, but
Matt Rule.
yes, sir, yes, sir, he's got big ties to Happy Valley. You probably heard it on ESPN. He met his wife at Happy Valley. He went to school there. I think he's the next coach at PSU. I really do. Um, you forgot to mention Virginia Tech. I believe they fired
Oh yeah,
Brent Cry. Uh, it's hard for me to even say Virginia Tech without saying Beamer because I grew up through Beamer ball, and it's hard to see Virginia Tech just looking like they do after the years and years and years of success they had under Coach Frank Beamer. Um, Also, Stanford and Kent State are playing on interim coaches right now.
Right.
You got several coaches on the hot seat, Midnight Rider, over at Wisconsin. I don't know how he still got his job. Luke Fickle at Wisconsin, and then Auburn. The only reason I think Hugh Freeze is still there is because Auburn is fighting every week. They might not have the wins, but they're not getting slammed every week. And then Mike Norvell at Florida State. He's still there, right? He hasn't been canned yet. I
He
do
hasn't
not
been
think.
canned yet. I think he's going to end up staying. I think they know they're a little limited on the offensive side of the ball. With
On talent.
I
Yep.
think Castellanos had a great week one, but the only problem with Castellanos right now is they're relying too much on. He's relying too much on his legs to get things done, and I think he's more the problem than what the offense they're calling is. So I think that's where that disconnect comes into play.
But just look at it, Midnight Rider. Look at these schools. Penn State, Florida,
Yep.
Oregon State used to have a little something something. Arkansas, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Stanford. I mean, I'm leaving out Colorado State, UAB, and UCLA, but still, that's some big time schools that looking for a new coach and are going to be throwing around some big bucks, Midnight Rider, big bucks. So I
So
tell you,
I'll say,
Franklin will get a
go ahead.
job, Napier will get a job, Bray will get a job, Gundy will get a job, and I'll say those four right there will get a job. Franklin, Napier, Gundy, and Bray will get a job. What do you think?
So I think
I'm talking head coach job.
I know what you're talking about. I think honestly, if Virginia
Not
Tech's not stupid, I think they go get Napier because I think he can succeed at that level of a school. I think the Florida lights were just too big and bright. I think he'll have a little bit more rope with Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech's going to have to promise him spending. They're going to have to give him some money. Franklin, um, I think that's tougher for me because I don't know where he would want to go. I know some Maryland people have been chirping about him coming back to Maryland. I'm not into that. I don't think Maryland puts enough money or invests enough money in the program to make that happen. So that's the only reason I don't see Franklin going there. I could actually see Franklin going to Florida if Florida was smart. Because you got an offensive quarterback. You need somebody to
or
work
Tech.
the quarterback. You need a quarterback to help him out.
I could see him at Tech.
I think the alumni are going to fight over themselves too much for him to go to Tech.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I just know Franklin. He has ties to the DMV, so that's why I thought Tech. I definitely don't think Maryland. They're not going to let Loxley go. They think they're building something with Loxley, but Maryland. The thing with the Maryland football program, they're doing the same thing they've been doing for the past 10 years. Come out 4-0 and then lose 3 of the next 4. So Maryland's got to learn how to get over the hump. And I'm not sure if Loxley's that guy or not. He might be because he is drawing more local talent. Because man, you put on college football on Saturday. You watch teams from all over the country, and you'll see Maryland athletes on their teams. So and so from Silver Spring, so and so from St. Francis, so and so from Gonzaga. They don't stay home. And why? Why? I'd rather go to the U. I'd rather go to the swamp. I'd rather go to Death Valley. I mean, shit. So I don't know. And Maryland, I don't know. Have you been there lately? Have you been near the campus lately?
I haven't been to. But here's what I know about Maryland. And I think the problem Maryland has is Maryland doesn't put the money in first and foremost. I think their second problem is when they got into the Big Ten, they got screwed by having to be in the same conference with or always having to play Penn State,
Michigan,
Ohio State, and
Michigan.
They always had to play those three
Right.
teams. They never had a year where they
No
missed
doubt.
one of those two. And then now when you add the influx of the other teams, the Washingtons, the USCs, the
Well,
UCLAs,
hold up.
Go ahead.
This year they don't play Michigan, Ohio State. They don't play the top dogs this year. They only play one. That's why I thought this was the chance for Maryland to have an 8-9 win season. But
they still should have an 8-9 win season. If you don't give up a 20-point lead to Washington, you have it in your hands, and that's the problem. The Terps have struggled to close it out.
Yep.
I love to see Locks get one more year, but I think it's only one more for me if you don't like the results. But you can't argue with the results of Maryland being a bowl team the last 3 years and winning bowl games. That's why you see all that construction on campus, is because they got that bowl money. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get a new library here. You get a library, you get a building for arts, you get a building for math.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot. It's a lot, Midnight Rider. They got cranes everywhere on campus. Must be 6 cranes over there. And dump trucks, man, Route 1 is like junkyard band, bumpity bump, y'all. I mean, it's rough. It's rough. You know, you jammed down to that bumpity bump jump back in the day. Yeah, Maryland. Yeah, they're getting money somewhere because they building like crazy. But I feel the money's going to the basketball team this year because Buzz gonna get his. But they're gonna give. They didn't bring Buzz in not to give Buzz the money. So we're talking basketball now. I hate to get off topic, but look at Maryland's schedule, Midnight Rider. They did, where are we at? September. I mean, they won their first 4 and then lost to, hold on, I'm in the wrong year. Here I am. Lost to UCLA by 3, lost to Nebraska by 3, lost to Washington by 4, beat Wisconsin, beat Towson, beat Northern Illinois, beat Florida Atlantic. I mean, you know, they just can't get over that hump. And coming up, they got Indiana, Illinois, number 25 Michigan. That's it as far as ranked teams. I think they can hang with a Michigan this year if they get out in front of them. Same thing with Illinois.
I think Michigan is very vulnerable because I still don't understand how you put. We talk about this type of thing all the time. You can't put a Cadillac engine in a Honda Civic, or the vice versa. You can't put a Honda Civic's engine in a Cadillac. Like, this offense doesn't look like it's prepared for a kid with the abilities of a Bryce Underwood. I don't see a lot of read option. I don't see a lot of open sets. This kid is too good physically and to be placed in an offense that they want to run the ball 35 times. That's not the kind of quarterback you got. And you got to live up to that. You got to make sure you take care of what's going on with your QB. With that being said, Jack, you got anything else before we go?
A lot of coaches' heads rolling, man. Let's hope they land on their feet. It's been interesting, and there's still more to come, everybody. There's still more. The heads going to roll in college football coaching.
You're in a new era, baby.
No doubt.
Go ahead.
Piss or get off the pot's what they saying nowadays, baby. They ain't got time to wait for you to get your feet comfortable. Piss or get off the pot. So it's like Midnight Rider said, it's a different time, and sports is a business, and they're not going to waste time or money. That's me.
Exactly. But that being said, we're going to take a quick break, reset, take you into the nickel, where we recap the games we picked on Sunday. Now, normally we go in show sequence of when the shows come on, but tonight we're going to break that up a little bit. So tonight, the intro you're going to get is for our Thursday night show first, and you'll understand why when we go into our last break, why we played the Wednesday show last. So here we go. Thursday night break, Thursday night throwdown. Check it out. Here's the intro, and we'll be right back after we play this intro. Now, normally after that intro, you'd have a guy that looks kind of like me, talks kind of like me, sounds kind of like me, doing an intro talking about people eating donuts and things of that nature. But it's the Thursday Night Throwdown. The show starts at 7:15 this Thursday. Come check us out. We normally preview 3 college football games for the next weekend. We normally recap. We'll actually probably do a preview of the World Series a little bit. Then
Thursday
we'll
night
probably get
football.
into maybe the first couple of nights of the NBA. Anything that stood out to us. And then after that, we preview the Thursday night football game. So you'll have all that for Thursday. But that's just what Thursday has for you. We got something for you after the nickel, and you'll like it because we're going to talk about some other stuff that we got going on our Wednesday show. But with that being said, let's go ahead and start this out. Lions 24, Buccaneers 9. I know this didn't hit the over that we expected, because a lot of us probably picked the over. But let's go ahead. I know we had a guest picker, Fishbone.
Yeah,
Was
we had
Fishbone.
Randy. Yeah, Bones on here. Yep. I don't
Yeah, he
have
was
my
funny, man.
Hey, he's a trip. I don't have my picks in front of me for then. I don't think.
So
Let me
just
double check.
let's just post it on the page, man. Let's talk about the ball game real quick. And if you need me to, I'll go first.
Sure, go ahead first.
Yeah, so this ball game to me last night, it looked like the Buccaneers just couldn't get going. They couldn't get right. Running game struggled. I think Ibuka was hurt more than he thought. I think the other incident or the other thing that was kind of made them struggle is Mike Evans. Mike Evans came back, started playing, and then he broke his clavicle. For the layperson, that's the collarbone. So he's going to be out even longer, probably out for the rest of the year, to be honest with you. They say 6 to 8 weeks, but I don't remember too many guys coming back from a collarbone that quick, unless it's just not. It might be what is it? It might be a separation, and it might not be a fracture or something like that. I don't know. I didn't go to medical school, and I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn last night, so I can't really give you all the details on that. But Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs. What more can you say, baby?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
that kid can roll. And their goal was to get Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the ball game. And if nothing else, you're going to fill them and deal with them too. I think Amon had 2 touchdowns and Jahmyr had 1, if memory serves you right. Or it's
Opposite.
my first.
Opposite.
All right, yeah.
Opposite.
I just saw them do I saw them do the joke celebration, and then after that, it was good to go. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I put the parlay down, and I said it on Sunday show. You put down Gibbs for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, you getting paid today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then what else did I do? I did that A.J. Brown 100 yards and 2 tutties as well. So I was 100-yard, 2 tutty picks. I hit 2 out of 4. I was happy. So, strong performance from Detroit. They've been needing a performance like this after, some losses that people seem to think they shouldn't have lost.
Right.
And Tampa Bay, I'm not trying to say it, but it was time for them to cool off a little bit, man. Baker's been lighting it up. He's been working with a makeshift wide receiver crew before Mbuka and Evans came back, but now Evans gone again. So, it was just a tough day. He needs Bucky Irvin back over there in Tampa, but you got to give it to Gibbs, man. 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, MVP all day. But Jared Goff really controlled it, 20 out of 29. And another thing, I never expected Baker to have to throw 50 in this. Baker he threw 50 pass attempts, man. Wow. So, good get right game for the Lions. And another thing was screwing Baker up, but that boy Hutchinson, him and his line mates, man, they was just causing havoc in that backfield constantly. So great put together get right win for the Detroit Lions.
All right, you know what, Jack? I just saw your note, so let me do this. I know we are in the nickel, but I want to go back and hit two of Maddie's comments and then his Tampa comment real quick.
Yeah.
So, Maddie, I think Penn State thinks they can get a bigger name than Matt Rule. I I don't see
No.
why. I don't see why Marcus Freeman would leave Notre Dame. He's not. I mean, maybe they can go to Brian Kelly because maybe Brian Kelly's family doesn't like
Take care of
LSU anymore.
family.
His family. Maybe that can help him out. I don't know. Let's see what the next comment is. Not sure about Gundy. Don't see a big school going after him anymore. Yeah, I think Gundy's aged out of a big school. I think he can go somewhere small. I call them reputation schools where your reputation gets you in the door because they think they got a big draw. I don't know if they got enough to build the talent around him and everything else. That's how I see that. And then Maddie's last comment. Tampa was big time banged up, but still shocked. Still shocked. Only 33 points scored this game. Yeah, so was I, Matt. I know. I don't think I gave a under at all last weekend on the games we picked. So I know for sure I had the over on this. But when you don't have your weapons and your weapons start falling apart, and then you can't protect the quarterback. I think Tampa Bay had one play where they fumbled, then the next drive or two drives later, he throws a pass to the tight end, and tight end gets the ball taken from him. Like they struggle with turnovers in this ball.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack. You like you was about to say something.
No, I'm waiting on Philly. I'm waiting on Philly, Minnesota, baby. I'm good with the Tampa Bay Detroit game. Detroit did what they had to do. Tampa Bay's banged up. I think both those teams are still some of the top teams in the NFC.
All right, so let's go ahead and get a man what he asked for.
Yeah.
Eagles 28, Vikings 22. That's 50. I think that hit the over. I don't remember that number being that high. Go ahead, Jack. Take it away.
Where it was. Well, the Eagles came out and Jalen Hurts just marched downfield, hit AJ Brown 38, 40 yards, something like that off jump. And I don't think they really had to look back after that. Philly scored every quarter, 7 points. They scored a touchdown every quarter, and they limited Minnesota to a bunch of field goals. That man kicked what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field goals. So it was a great job by the Eagles to just stay out front and keep Minnesota at arm's length. How'd you see this game?
I saw Carson Wentz playing quarterback for the Vikings. And the one thing Carson Wentz can do, Carson Wentz is a dude that could mess up a wet dream. It's just I don't know what it is about his style of play. But he hindered this team the whole ball game. Like they got 22 points in spite of him, not because of him. I think they do need Aaron Jones to come back. They just opened up his 21-day practice window. So that could be a spot where they can find some relief and get some help in that regard. But Jordan Mason's played well, but I think Jones gives them a different dynamic in the passing game that Mason can't give them right now. And the way this team plays, man, I mean, Thielen gives you the tough yards. Justin Jefferson, their only problem, to be honest with you, is the inaccuracy of Wentz. I mean, this dude, they had a swing route, easy play, just hit the back coming out of the backfield. He throws it in the dirt. I mean, it's just one thing after another, and it's small stuff that kills drives. He's a drive killer. And that's all we saw the other night is him kill drive after drive. And it didn't make sense. Anything else you got, Jack?
When they get JJ back, is JJ out for the season?
Nah, Justin Jefferson's still playing, brother.
No, don't they got McCarthy at the quarterback spot?
Oh, that JJ. So he worked out last week. He didn't look. They said he couldn't move the way they wanted him to move. so he's questionable for this week.
Yeah, I see it now. I got the report in front of me. You're right. Okay, yeah. If they can get him back, they can get right. Because I thought JJ was playing good up to his injury.
I thought he struggled early. He had that great fourth quarter, but I don't remember him being that good in the second game. Hopefully this time to sit back and just watch gives him the ability to come back fresh and brand new, and hopefully he sees the field a little bit better. But I think again he's going to have to be helped by Jones and Mason running the ball for them to get this thing going. And maybe it's going to be the thing where their defense has to play offense and create scoring opportunities for them.
Well,
they say it's
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you about that. I agree. I'm just agreeing with you about that. And McCarthy in Minnesota, they got the two best wide receivers, the best wide receiver tandem, in my opinion, when they're both healthy. They're better than Njigba and other. Who's Njigba with?
It don't matter.
Oh, Mike Evans.
No, you're thinking about Ibuka is with Mike Evans.
Ibuka and Mike Evans, and then Njigba.
It's a one-man show from what I can think of. And
yeah, you're right.
It's Pickens and CD in Dallas.
Pickens and CD. Dallas. Pickens looking good. I'm telling you, some of the catches he made. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. Let's go to the next one. The game that I felt dirty after I picked it, but I got it right. Colts 38, Chargers 24. I might have had the Chargers covering. That's the only way I could have gotten any of this wrong. But I know I took the over because I think I took the over all morning. And I took the Colts because I don't know what it is. I just think the Chargers are too beat up to compete right now on the offensive line. And I think people have exposed their defense and found a flaw in their defense. Jack, go ahead and take this one away, man.
Well, I thought that some of these stats in this game were nuts. If you look at it, the Chargers scored 24 points, okay? But Justin Herbert threw for 420 yards. 420 yards. Them two interceptions hurt Herbert bad. Herbert was the leading rusher. I don't even know who this boy is that caught all these balls. I know Keenan Allen, fine, 11 catches, 119. But this boy, Gadsden, 7 catches, 164 yards. That boy balled out. No, I don't.
So Arondé Gadsden, this is Arondé Gadsden Jr. Arondé Gadsden Sr. played at the Miami Dolphins. He was their tall receiver. He made a lot of acrobatic catches back in the day. Arondé Gadsden Jr. went to Syracuse. He played wide receiver at Syracuse. The Chargers moved him to tight end because he wasn't fast enough. It was kind of like an Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez mode type of move. I think he had 14 receptions, 100+ yards, and a touchdown. I was really surprised a lot of people didn't jump on that name and add him this week because, I mean, the kid put up numbers, and if Herbert's going to keep going to him, he's going to be an interesting prospect. He's going to help also fill out this offense because you have him, Keenan Allen, and then Ladd McConkey. I mean, the only thing you need –
and Johnson.
I was going to say, if Johnson can just hold on to the football when you throw it to him deep, that field's wide open. You're killing the middle. You're killing the intermediate zones. You're killing the short zone. And then you got a guy to take the top off. You got every part of the offense or receiving core that you want in Los Angeles. But the problem is the defense has been a little fraudulent the last couple of weeks. And they've struggled big time. It doesn't hurt or help that your quarterback gives you 2 interceptions. So, but the Colts are playing well, man. You called this. This is one you gotta take your victory lap, man. You called Daniel Jones early on. I didn't believe in it, but once I saw the offense and him playing in it, it makes sense. I mean, he actually finally has a line that can protect him. He's not looking over his shoulder trying to figure out who's playing left guard. and the right tackle isn't coming in with a "hello, my name is" sticker on. So the Colts solid offensive line. You got Jonathan Taylor running the best he's run in probably 2 or 3 years, and then they've got receivers that it seems like each of the receivers have a specific job too. Alex Pierce is the deep man. Pittman is your intermediate guy. And then they got the kid Joshua Downs. I don't know if he's healthy or not, but they've got enough receivers to make everything go around. And Daniel Jones has never, ever had any kind of receiving core like this before. Let's see what we got, because it looks like you're looking at comments.
No, I was looking at
see.
something, but no.
All right, so we already read that. Here's the next one. Jackson Smith and Jigba doesn't need anyone else. That dude was a whole game by himself. Totally agree. And I like to say bleep Matt Catlin because he took him the pick right before I was going to take him. So we'll take that. And then Maddie said we talked about the Colts on drive time. Time for people to realize this team is for real. Yeah, it's almost like, it's funny that we have back-to-back years where last year everybody questioned Sam Darnold for 16 weeks, and then finally week 17 he kind of became Sam Darnold in that big game against Detroit, and then he didn't have a great playoff game. But yeah, I mean, these guys, I think the one thing we always forget is the quarterback is the most talent-dependent position in the league. They need to have a top wide receiver. You need to have a top flight running back. You need to have a good offensive line. Those are things that you need to have. They're the prerequisites for them to even be good. I think we got a lot of good quarterbacks playing in bad situations, to be honest with you. And that's what you're seeing right now. Yeah.
Oh.
And then let's get Jack one more time. The Colts are the real deal for sure this year. The rookie tight end is a beast. Yeah. Yeah. I think we had him going I thought we had him going to the Bears, and the Bears ended up taking Colston Loveland, and Loveland hasn't really adjusted well to the Bears, but I get it because they see him more. They wanted more of a Laporta type of guy than I think Warren, but Warren is so versatile and helpful in the offensive game. It doesn't make sense, man. I think this week he probably had 7 catches, 80 plus yards, and he might have had a tutty because he's right. He's got a very consistent line. He's got a very consistent line that he's playing to. Huh?
What do you think about what the Chicago Bears are doing right now?
I think they're getting fat. They're doing the thing we call harvesting your nuts. They beat the Commanders in a game where they probably got a gift because of the fumble. You go into New Orleans, you handle your business against New Orleans. The offenses look good at times, not great. They got Swift going. Swift used the momentum from the Washington game week against the Saints. I think right now their schedule breaks for them the right way. And I think they get a couple of teams that they can beat before they have to play anyone else from the NFC East. So they're good to go.
Well, let's look at this North right now. North right now as we sit, Green Bay 4-1-1, Detroit 5-2, Chicago 4-2, Minnesota 3-3. That's kind of how I thought that division was going to go, minus the Bears being 4-2. The Bears' 4-game winning streaks got people opening their eyes. Just not really me though. I'm not. I'm not sitting up on that perch yet. Looking at the Bears, they got to do a little more. So,
all right. With that
the division is the West. The division is the NFC West, man. They got 3 teams at 5-2, and then the Cardinals at 2-5, just giving everybody a dub. You know what I'm saying?
And the problem is the San Francisco is in their soft part of their schedule. So San Francisco could end up being, after all of this, they could end up somewhere around 8-2 or 8-3 going into the back half of the schedule. haven't already put
Mm-hmm.
themselves in a good enough spot to to um to be in the playoffs or be considered for the playoffs. The Rams, the same thing. You know, we were concerned about Stafford's back, but I mean, here's another situation where we thought the back was an issue, but now it's not. And them even losing Puka, they schemed their offense up so much and so well that they had guys that I didn't know scoring touchdowns, and they got 3 touchdowns out of Devontae Adams. And you can't tell me, I don't know
Yeah.
how he got 3 touchdowns. But, you know, I would double him and
Yeah.
make everybody else beat me. But lo and behold, we got that changed, man. And then who's the third team that's in the West? Who am I missing? Rams, 49ers. Oh, the Seahawks.
Mm.
Um, Seahawks got in
Oh,
Jigba.
yeah.
They have enough of a running game with Walker, and then you got in Jigba doing everything, and Darnold's not Darnolding yet. I mean, I think they're as good as Sam Darnold could be because they have a solid defense.
Yeah.
It's not dominant, but it's good enough, and they can get by with what they got. What
So,
you say, Jack?
another division I think needs to take a peek inside is that AFC North. Nobody thought the AFC North would look like this after 6, 7 games. Steelers 4-2, Bengals 3-4 with no Joey B. Uh, Cleveland Browns 2-5, Baltimore Ravens 1-5. Yes, they got the injury bug just like Washington does. Been without QB1 Lamar Jackson for a couple weeks. It hurts me to see them backups in that Baltimore Raven offense too, because it's not the same offense as Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Baltimore coming back from 1-5 and trying to make some playoffs. You better bring a big shovel, bro, because that's a deep hole, man. And
Yeah,
that's probably the surprise conference to me from game from week 1 to now. The
yeah.
AFC North. I figured you'd have Baltimore 4-2, Steelers at 3-3, and then the rest 2-4. But I don't know, man. Is is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to win the AFC North this year?
I don't see why he can't.
I know.
This is another team where schedules matter, man. And I think this is another team where I think their schedule falls into place for them to be to get a couple more wins and get some confidence. And people always say confidence is a dangerous thing.
Bingo.
Shrek. Oh, I mean, Donkey talks to Shrek all the time and says confidence on high. Confidence is on high, baby. But yeah, that's the way it plays out, man. J Dub chimes in real quick with Caleb Williams has been playing good ball for the Bears. I don't know if it's good ball. I think he hasn't killed them. I think he's turned down his mistakes. I don't know if he's quite playing good ball yet because he still falls in
I think
love
they've
with that.
compressed.
Yeah,
I think they compressed his game plan.
yeah. I think he still has moments where he thinks he's got to do the whirling dervish, and like he gets style points for throwing the ball off platform, off the wrong foot, into a zone where he doesn't take the profits. And I noticed last week with Jaden, and we'll talk about that later. So I'm not even gonna get into that comment, but I got a comment for that
Right.
later. And then Jack doubles down and says Donald has a good connection going with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Hey man, his connection is you out there somewhere. Let me just throw you the ball. And Matty
Oh,
says
Jesus
someone
Christ.
predicted the Bears would be good. Matt, I don't know who that someone is, so we'll
I
just go
do.
ahead and continue. Who predicted that?
I want to say it was Matt.
Uh, I don't know, man.
That's who I thought it was. Him or
I need I need
KG.
I need I need empirical evidence to prove that.
I know it wasn't me, baby.
I know it wasn't me either. So we good on that part. All
Well,
right,
hey,
next ball game up.
Speaking of Matty Ice, he's got his survivor pool still going, and it's 7 of us left. All 7 of us survived.
Mm.
Everybody damn near but me picked Kansas City Chiefs, and I already spent my Chiefs pick, so they had that freebie, and I ended up winning this weekend by choosing New England Patriots. Right now, I'm on a limb of maybe picking the Atlanta Falcons this week, but
Mm.
after what they did to the San Francisco 49ers around, I don't know where that offense went. That was supposed to be the top ranked offense in the league. They looked like doo doo against San Fran.
So let's talk about it. San Francisco 49ers 20, the Atlanta Falcons 10. Jack, continue your thoughts on it. Let's go, baby.
Well, we've seen Atlanta pull off some big games. I want to say they did something on a Thursday night with a big win, and they just been pulling shit out. And they have a top offense and a top defense, top 3 in both per stats. But I don't know who showed up for this game, man. It wasn't the Atlanta Falcons I've been watching. Penix, I just don't feel Penix pushed the ball downfield enough. Dinkin and Duncan, he was hitting the tight ends a lot. And Robinson just could not get going. Bijan could not get going. Before the lead got to 10, Robinson only carried the ball 14 times for 40 yards, averaging 3 a carry. So that's not Bijan Robinson we've seen this year. The 49ers defense was on point. McCaffrey, what can you not say about CMC, man? The boy, he had almost 200 yards total. He did have 200 yards. He actually had 201 yards total and 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey, he was damn near their whole offense for San Fran, So that's nothing new. That's nothing new the past couple of years. If San Fran could get some kind of passing game going with that McCaffrey game, they'd be trouble. But right now, it looked like Mac Jones is their guy, dude. I know they put all the Easter eggs in Purdy's basket, but Mac Jones is their guy. They wanted him a couple of years ago. So what's going to happen when Purdy's healthy from this foot or toe or whatever he's got? What do you think is going to happen, Midnight Rider? You think they're just going to slam Mac Jones back to the bench, or is there going to be a quarterback controversy?
Nope. I think the controversy happens in the media with the fans, but I think the team is going to go Purdy, stick to their guns because they paid him, and I mean, no owner wants to cut a $50 million check willingly to a backup quarterback if they can help it. And
I agree.
I know they do it in Atlanta, cutting that little $48 million check to Kirk, but I mean, Kirk showed you that he can't get done. So
yeah,
and everything all your returns from Kirk is going to be diminishing returns. I think for some reason Atlanta just couldn't get it going. They just I think part of that was the defense of the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers are young this year on defense. Warner's out, but they still just do what they do, man. It's certain teams that if you put them in their scheme is their scheme, and that's their identity, and they don't play outside of it. Like they don't go hunting for anything else. They play the way they were meant to play, and the way they always play. So that's how I see that part of it for the 49ers. And the Falcons. Yeah, it just seemed like the whole night they just couldn't get right. I mean, it just seemed like they make a play, then they have a or whatever it was. It just didn't work out the whole night at all for Atlanta.
I got you on that, baby.
You good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right, let's hit comment real quick. Let's see where we at.
Damn.
Let's see. That's Maddie. Someone said the Bears will be good coming, so we're here. Atlanta is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No clue what team shows up week to week. Totally agree on that. And then J-Dub comes back with saying the 49ers can't stay healthy. Well, the problem is the 49ers are going in like another week or two. they're going to start getting guys back. And with this cushion they put themselves in, they could be in a prime position to win 10, 11 ball games and be in the playoffs. I don't think the division is that good. I don't think they're a 3-division playoff team division good, but I think everything else around them has fallen to a place where they can make it work. Same thing with like Pittsburgh. You were talking about Pittsburgh earlier. I don't think Pittsburgh is that good. I just think they've fallen into a position where everything around them is chaotic and chaos and falling apart, and they just keep plugging away. They keep harvesting in the nuts. So that's all I got there, man. With that being said, let's get to the game, man. Cowboys 44, Commanders 22. I think there was a stat out there that I think Dak Prescott has 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions against the Commanders. I also think he's either 7 or 8-0 against the Commanders.
Yep.
Yeah. So that means the only time we beat them is when he's not playing. So, Jack, take it away, man.
Well, you said it right off jump, man. Dak Prescott looked all world out there. He looked MVP Dak, dude. I'm not going to lie, just because it's the Cowboys. But Jesus Christ, man, how can we allow that? I understand Washington is depleted by injuries on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. But you got to look at that defense. Your boy, what's your boy? Oh, your boy, Lattimore. Jesus Christ, can he do anything, man? He's pass interference or toast. I thought Lattimore was supposed to be that lockdown, shutdown corner, and I feel Mikey Samuel's outplaying him. So Washington's offense being injured, they had a practice squad wide receiver / tight end starting at wide receiver too. So you got practice squad shot starting. I mean, that ain't even a scrimmage, man. The injury bug has bit the shit out of the Washington Commanders, and they need to just hold it down until they can bounce back. They can't let this get too ugly. I'm talking Ravens ugly. They can't let it get too ugly because they can still make the playoffs with what they got going on. They just got to get healthy. I don't know the word on Jaden Daniels. If you have an update, fill me in after I'm done. But if it's something that's a couple weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, fuck it. I'd hold his ass out. Go with Mariota. But because you don't want to give away your future by pushing your young quarterback the way we did RG3.
Well,
Please don't let me have.
Hold on. Say that.
Owner and RG3.
Say that for after we do the roundup. So let's get through the game first, and let's have that conversation in like 2 minutes because I'm not going to be long on this ball game.
Okay, and the running back Williams, he just diced us like a knife through butter, like a hot knife through butter. And I thought he was going to get his. I was pretty close to throwing him down for 101, but I only put in so many clicks a day. You know what I'm saying? What did he rush? He rushed for 140.
I thought it was 110, but I could be wrong.
116 on 19 carries. And that boy Blue, he looked good as a backup for Dallas. He was scampering some nice runs. Krosky Merritt, he never got going for the Commanders. And the Commanders got sacked quite a bit. I want to say 5, 6 times. You don't want to get sacked more than 2 or 3 times a game to have a successful game because sacks are big yard losses most times, 7 to 12 yards. So Cowboys caught Washington at a good time. And hats off to Dak. Hats off, Dak. You played a fine game, sir. But can you put that all together and find playoff success? That's yet to be seen. So, hail to you, Midnight Rider.
All right, I'm going to keep mine short and sweet because I saw KG dropped a Monday night bomb where he kind of took the team to task. I think there's a couple problems with this team. First and foremost, I think one problem A is I don't know if I think the coach said it 2 weeks ago. He said we got to stop playing hero ball, and I think that touchdown to CD Lamb, if Marshawn Lattimore isn't playing hero ball and decides to do dirty work, he separates that CD Lamb's soul from his body, and that ball isn't caught if he's doing it the right way. I think the other thing that's hurting this team right now is, you got me, you, and KG at wide receiver. So Robbie Chosen had 4 receptions, and that led the team. That's a problem. When you make passes, the receivers drop them, and then the other problem is right now, Jaden's been kind of wild. So the problem you got to ask yourself is Jaden being inaccurate, or are the receivers in the wrong place? Those become the conversations that you got to have and start digging into. The good news, or some of the good news, I don't know how good this news is that there's word that Terry and Debo are supposed to be practicing this week. There's stories that Jaden avoided major damage to his hamstring, so I think he's going to be more week to week than anything else. So I think it depends on who he gets to massage his hamstrings. I don't know if you saw the QB special, but like Kirk Cousins has this group of people that they work his hamstrings. They give him massages, they do all that stuff, and it helps him recover from the week before. And I don't know what Jaden does on the schedule, but I think that's going to be the key to him playing this week. Is trying to get himself in place. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson and Tucker, they got them kind of massage cats too.
I don't think they ate those. Let's see. Let's see. Comment real quick. Let's see. Hold on. Let's go back.
I think we're straight. Oh, Maddie said something I agree with. Washington has gotten off the slow starts each game this year. They can't.
All right, so here we go. Let's go here. So Jack says all that's true if they can stay healthy. I'm not sure who he's talking about, but let's keep going.
Talking about the Niners.
Okay. I thought it looked like the Cowboys and Commanders switched uniforms on defense. Commanders couldn't stop the run or pass. Jack, you're right. I think the issue that the Commanders are having is people aren't doing their job. They're trying to do everybody else's job. And I think Dallas realized that at a certain point, Manny Moe and Jack from Pep Boys couldn't outrun them from the receiver spot. So they went man across and played the run heavy. They shot gaps. They did everything. Like, they took the running game away from them.
Well, you know who's looking good? You know who's looking good on that defensive line, Ben? Of course, Armstrong. Dorian Armstrong. He's leading the team in sacks. I think he's got 5.5, 6 sacks. But Allen is looking the best that I've seen him in years. Do you agree?
You mean Payne?
Oh, yeah. My fault. Payne. Darren Payne is looking better than he has in years. I mean, he's got a couple sacks. He's got a blocked field goal. He's always causing some trouble on the run. He's got tackles for loss. This is the best I've seen him play since his first 2 years in Washington.
You're getting the question you have to ask yourself: is this Daron Payne or is this contract Daron Payne? Contract year Daron Payne. Last time he was in contract year, he put up in sacks. Is that what you're getting? Because then you got to worry about the consistency from him in the long run. Then the other question you ask yourself is, if you lose a game or two in the next couple, do you become sellers and sell a guy like a Daron Payne to recoup some picks that you gave away for Tunsil and those kind of guys? So it becomes interesting at that point of how you want to build this thing out. Jack says, J-Dub says Jaden was injured in the third quarter. Absolutely correct. Paying balls out in contract years. That's what we just said. Yeah, Keith, the correspondent, as we call him. I should have reached out to you. My bad. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. This team is struggling to find its way. Maybe some of the stuff in the offseason kind of threw off the brotherhood and the seeing everybody do right. I don't know what it is, and I can't tell you what it is, but there's a lot going on, and I think this team hasn't licked some of their wounds from earlier this year in terms of the all season. You got to think about a kid like Brandon Coleman, who was the starting left tackle, told he might be the starting right tackle. You draft a kid, you start him at left guard, and then he starts 2 games or 3 games, and then he gets benched and hasn't seen the field in 5 games. Like, there's some things going on in the background that maybe this team didn't deal with last year. And maybe that's affecting this team and the way they're performing going forward. Jackety Jack, anything else, baby?
A lot of season, lot of ball left. So, many teams can right in the ship. We'll see how this season plays out. It's not over yet. And I see a bunch of Washington fans tripping. It's football. It's 5, 6, 7 games in, man. I mean, this is a 17-game season. There's a lot of ball left to play, as my man Pat McAfee says. A lot of ball.
Totally agree. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our recap of the nickel. Thank you for watching that. But we're going to take a quick break, reset, and then we're going to close out the show. But what we're going to close out with is the show that we have tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Special guest Edwin Garrett. He comes on a little show. Actually, you know what? I'll show you the intro so you'll know what that show is. Yes,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's the music for the show that takes you around the sports world, one interview at a time. It's hosted by this guy, to whatever side that is or that side that is of me, the gentleman Jack Carr. He has a co-host, a guy named the Midnight Rider. That guy's okay in my books. We do this show, and this week we have Edwin Garrett as our guest. That's who's riding shotgun tomorrow night. JC, you want me to just kind of go through this since I kind of know some of the background?
Yeah, just let me join this in. Anybody's not familiar with In the Passenger Seat, you can see it on Sideline Junkies Podcast Network Facebook page, and we also have an In the Passenger Seat Facebook page. You can view past shows. So, Midnight Rider, why don't you tell them about this show, buddy?
So this show is going to be interesting. I don't know what direction we're going. So I know Edwin was a former basketball player in college. So we're going to have some stories about his growing up playing ball, some of his college years. We're going to have some information on him now as a basketball coach. So the in-between, we got to figure out what the peanut butter and jelly is going to be. But we're going to have some peanut butter and jelly for you to make up the substance of the sandwich. But very personal guy. I used to work with him at Enterprise. That's how I know him. One of the funniest cats I know when I was working at Enterprise. So we're gonna have a fun time, man. It's gonna be an interesting show.
I like jam. I like jam because jelly don't shake like that. but that's where we are. I like jam.
But that's where we are for tomorrow night, man. Please join us. If you haven't jumped in the passenger seat, we are we ask some hard-hitting questions. We try to go where the guest allows us to go. Um, talk about a lot of things. Last week we were talking about Amanda's broken ankle in the championship ball game. We've talked to some people about their dark times because when they switched over into college baseball, they had some dark moments. We've talked about everything, and that's what we are. I tell people all the time, my line, Jack's line is we go take you through the sports world one interview at a time. My byline is we the Dan Quinn of podcast because we like to get to know the person first, and then we'll talk about everything else you've done. But we had last night. If you didn't see our preview show, we had Coach Glick on. Um, Coach Glick was a passenger guest, right?
Yes, sir.
So we try to involve. If you have access to all the other shows that we do, we might call you up and just say, hey, come on, jump in with us because we want your point of view because you got a level of expertise in this. And that's the key. And that's the beauty of when you do In the Passion Seat with Gentleman Jack Carr, and then you get the co-host like the Midnight Rider, you get we just try to do everything we can to give you exposure to what we do because you do what we love, and that is coach sports, play sports, be a sports fan. So we all encompassing in all of that. That's all I got, man. If you want to add something, go ahead, bro.
No, it's been great. Last week we just hit the 1 year anniversary of the first episode of In the Passenger Seat, and I believe that was Monk Wells with AAG.
Yes.
AAG Sports Memorabilia, one of the top memorabilia businesses in the game. They're down there in Calvert County, but Monk will travel. He just got back from a big CSA show. I seen him getting some cigs from Rodman, Tony Dorsett, man, many stars that he was at this CSA show. Roger Staubach. I mean, he met his idol doing this as a young guy, and then he turned it into a career of getting autographs. Because how Monk started this, and he says it in our interview, he got ripped on 2 Sean Taylor autos when he was a youngster. And he didn't want that to happen to anybody ever again. So he made his legit business. And if you look at it, 1 year later, we got a new logo. We're just growing every day with this podcast. And like Midnight Rider said, you never know what we're going to talk about. People sit there and say, oh, I don't like sports. We're talking to people. They just we're just navigating it through their sports life, and then what comes in. And like you said, Coach Lou Rome, when it came time for him to go to play college ball, stuff didn't work out. Him and the coach, boom, boom, boom. We've had other guys that got homesick by going a little too far away. Then we've had people deal with injuries. People deal with heartache in their family. You never freaking know. That's why I love every week we get to talk to a different person in the passenger seat. And hell, if you're human, I think you'd love this show. So In the Passenger Seat, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Peep it.
There you go. And that's kind of why we ended the show like that, because we're going to take you right in and keep the momentum from tonight, rolling in tomorrow, going downhill, full wheels. And what is that? Is that it's not a Camaro. What's the car that's on the joint?
It's a 70s retro custom. It's a custom.
Yeah, it's a custom Chevy retro with two mics coming out of the top of the car, baby.
Don't forget the
blower.
That
being said, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, B. Anything that we didn't cover, we didn't hit, and something that was on your mind that you want to talk about.
Nah, I'm straight, man. I can't believe the Dynamic Duo put $150 up tonight, man. I thought we were gonna do about $115, but I'm cool. Man, time's good time.
That's not how we roll, man. We the guys that the clock don't work for us. You know, we the Chris Russell's a podcast. We blow by the clock all the time, baby. With that being said, real quick, the only thing I wanted to do is, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget basketball season is upon us. We got 2 games tonight. We got games tomorrow. We're in full flow. Don't forget that you got Amazon, Peacock, NBC, ABC, ESPN covering games for you. So make sure you use your if you don't know what a game is, make sure you check your screens. Go to your channel guide and figure out where your games are. And with that being
Good
said,
luck, y'all. Good luck,
everybody,
y'all.
luck, have fun, enjoy your evening. That's the Gentleman Jack. I'm the Midnight Rider. We are thankful for anybody that was in the comments. We are thankful for anybody that decided to tune in. Whether you tuned in for 10 minutes, whether you tuned in for an hour and 50 minutes, you was here on this journey with us, and we appreciate you being there with us. With that being said, me and Jack, in the words of Jack, we out. Talk to you.